Certainly a hot one tonight here in Frederick, Maryland. And it is FC Frederick who are looking to punch their ticket into the postseason. Have an important game here against the Alexandria Rough Diamonds here at Warner Stadium. So glad you're with us. Christian Taylor, Bo Eske here with you. Should be very fascinating tonight. Again, it was originally scheduled for a 7 o'clock. So this entire weekend. It's pushed till 8 p.m., an opportunity for these players to really get going tonight as we take a look at our player to watch right now, John A. Eske, who has been brilliant in his entire Frederick career.
Well, let's just say I know that particular player a bit. He's one of my sons, and he's definitely been a mainstay of this program. We got him involved when he was still in high school, was able to play with his older brothers, and fortunately he's been available for the summer by and large for the most part, so hopefully he has a good game.
Now take a look at the starting 11, coached by Rob Ryerson, FC Frederick. You see how they line up. It's a different defensive back line tonight. Coach Ryerson had to go in and get a few players, a couple new players in there. You're going to see Hassanian, he's playing there as right back. Bradley's going to be playing as well. Villatoro's back. Weiland going to be playing the back line as well. But a few different faces in there for this Frederick team. Mitzelfeld once again getting back at the 9 tonight. We'll see what he's able to do up top.
So I'm actually excited to see this particular back line in action. So what it really does is it reunites three guys that played together at William & Mary. So John Andrew, who we talked about earlier, played for 4 years at William & Mary. James Bradley, and actually it looks like they shifted a little bit from the graphic. James is playing left back. Zach Husseinian is playing center back, but the three of those guys played together they came in as incoming freshmen at William & Mary, and so we'll see how they do.
Since 2018 all the way to about 2022, they all played together there with the Tribe, did their thing. So it is the Alexandria Rough Diamonds. They're in the black and gold. FC Frederick in their home blue and whites tonight, starting from right to left. And this is an FC Frederick team. We mentioned, folks, they are on the cusp of potentially getting into the postseason. It's a corner kick. It started here within the first minute. But they're looking to bounce back after 3 straight losses, 4-0 to DMV Elite, 4-1 to Annapolis, and 5-0 to Alexandria Red. So looking for a good result tonight.
They definitely are, and you know the season started out very strong and with a lot of promise. I think there's still some promise there, almost a nice goal. Part of it, the DMV Elite team new this season to the league, and we actually had a great result against them to begin the season with.
2-1.
But they have improved, and the game that we played them with, the result that you mentioned, we had, our roster looked a little different. Sometimes it happens in this league, and they were much improved. And then to play Annapolis and Alexandria, those have been the two gold standard clubs for the last couple of years. Well, Alexandria maybe even for 3 years. So they hit a patch of stronger teams and didn't quite get the results, but we'll see what happens here tonight against the Rough Diamonds.
So Frederick looking to bolster up the attack. The intention is for Robbie Ryerson up the right side. A little too heavy. And it's an Alexandria possession here. Alexandria on their end of things. They are dead last right now in this Mid-Atlantic Conference. A negative 41 goal differential this season. Didn't start off that well either. It started with a 12-0 loss against Annapolis. They've been able to put together some goals as the season's gone along. Perhaps their best game so far of the year. It was a loss, but it was at Virginia Beach City FC. They lost 3-2 there. Comeback effort fell just a tad short. Now this is a team, again, who's still fairly new, just trying to find their way and looking to build up something.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, the way they started certainly isn't what the typical NPSL standard is, and I think they are improving. But this is a strong division. There's a lot of established clubs that have access to a lot of high-quality players, and as a new franchise to this conference, it's going to take them a little bit to get established and get the players they need to be consistently competitive, I think.
Corner kick coming for FC Frederick. Dialed in here, and it's the goaltender and James Anderson who solidifies that one. Yeah, I mean, this team is new in the DMV area where a lot of these other teams are in this Mid-Atlantic. You look at Virginia Dream, DMV Elite, Annapolis Blues, Frederick somewhat to an extent, not in the DMV, but can get players from Virginia. So you're talking about a lot of teams who are all recruiting from there, and not to mention any USL2 teams. So it's just a matter of now Alexandria Rough Diamond trying to find their way through to recruiting these players.
Yeah, I think it's like a lot of things in life. It's about context and connection. So we lean heavily on our coach, Coach Ryerson's connections that he has in this area, and I think part of the issue for the Rough Diamonds is to bring some people onto their staff that know the staffs of the different colleges and can, get a hold of a few different higher level guys. I actually think that the DMV, because of how rich it is with its college programs, can support their program. I think they just didn't quite know who to reach out to see if players were available.
So it's been a season for Alexandria where, just like any other team in the NPSL, different starting 11s each game. Had a few consistent players the full way. Jacques Aristenes, he's one of the guys. He played at Monroe Community College. This one thrown up the left side. It's a chance for Ankara, and he tosses it into the center. And the Rough Diamond trying to deal with it. That's Niaza Tamini. He's just finished up a freshman year over at the University of District of Columbia. Just about 5 minutes played, and Frederick possessing the ball so far. It thumps off of Cesar Rodriguez and out. Alexandria looking for some sort of a push here. We're going to need to try and find something here tonight. McGuire Alden tried sending it into the center for Aristenes. Couldn't find him. And now Esque, who is off sides. This passage of play is brought to you by Vertical Data Engineering Systems, specializing in IT modernization, managed technology services, enterprise risk management, cyber AI advisory, and cloud services. Visit verticaldataes.com to learn more. Elevate your enterprise and information security strategy with Vertical Data Engineering Systems.
Just a little bit more of a plug for VDES.
Watch out here, and it's a little too high.
The owner of the company, Gary Simba, is a local referee and does so much in that space, taking games on maybe when he's already got a couple that day to make sure we have enough referees, and has kids in the club and coaches. And so he's really, it's nice that he's also found the ability to support the NPSL program.
What have you seen here in the first 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes?
I'd say some probing. I think the big risk for Frederick is to be overly confident, because the Rough Diamonds do have some pieces that can counter and cause problems. And also spending a little time getting to know some of the new guys that are on the field. Again, you mentioned John Andrew earlier. He has been playing, even though most of his career he's an attacking player, he's been playing out of the back this year for Frederick. Now he's playing higher, so you'll probably see them try to figure out how to activate him a little bit. Right now, it looks to be shaping up of the type of game where Frederick has a decent, the majority of possession, and the risk to Frederick is going to be counterattacks by some of the Rough Diamonds players.
Well, they're trying to do a little bit of something right now. Frederick have been on the front foot for a lot of it, but maybe the best passage of play so far for the Rough Diamonds. Keeping it away for right now. This is Sebastian Vargas. Deals with a little bit of pressure. And the intention is forward, but it's a very good read. And now Frederick, if they can get some numbers, have an opportunity here building from the back. Starts with Bradley, lines it in off sides. Would have been the call anyways. Mitzelfelt was the intended target.
Really nice service from James. I don't know if you could, we'll see it on the camera angle, but you see the bend that he puts on it. He's doing that to keep it away from the keeper as one of our players is crashing towards the goal. And it's a really nice ball. I think Jack ordinarily would probably be able to get a hold of that, get it on frame, although I guess a little bit offsides. But it was a nice ball from James.
Coach Ryerson told me before this game, really favoring that left side perhaps tonight, knowing that Bradley's going to be there, know that SK is going to be over there on the left side. Really see what they can do. But Sean Weiland, he has a little bit of pace to him too. Mitzelfelt switches fields towards SK, got a little over it. Now SK going to wiggle through, take it safely to Ankra. Asking for it is Bradley. He finds it here. And now they'll slow it down with Eric Villatoro, who can play midfield, but Coach Ryerson saying that he can also drop down to a center back role.
Yeah, Eric's played mostly for us in the midfield, and he's absolutely been one of the Iron Men and anchors for this team for the last couple of years. He's playing up at Mount St. Mary's, having a nice career up there, but we've really leaned on him a lot to stabilize the back line, and he's probably played, by this game, the most games on the back line of anyone we've had so far this season.
There's a swing and a miss by Mitzelfeld inside the box. Maybe could have put something on target. No, it was very fascinating just watching how his career had also progressed there at Mount St. Mary's. These last few years, as you mentioned, here at Frederick, but it just seemed like there was another, even though he was already really good at the Mount, there was another extra jump this year with the Mount, and you really feel that maybe his time with Frederick helped him. This is SK looking to put something on, just
chance.
Across.
Yeah, that's a good effort right there. Just a little bit off, but shooting low towards the far post, which is how you score against these guys. Almost snuck it in. Looked like it may even glanced off the post a teeny bit.
About as close as you can get without hitting anything or barely hitting anything. But Frederick continuing to pursue goal, taking advantage of a couple of Rough Diamonds mistakes in the back.
Yep, there are a couple of rough pieces to the Rough Diamonds game right now. Sorry if I stole some you might be using.
That's Kian Dakuba. Plays JV soccer over at Tiffin. It's a throw-in for Alexandria. Run through their starters really quickly here. Jacques Aristenes, we already mentioned him. Sega Kabete, he's a freshman over at UDC. Kian Dakuba, we just mentioned him, wears number 11. Paul Stavro, he's worked his way through the ranks of USL2 and NPSL the last few years. Leon Insekie played his freshman year over at Concord University. Sebastian Vargas wearing number 21. Maguire Alden, number 23. Cesar Rodriguez, mentioned him real quickly at the start, wears number 25. Niaza Tamini wears number 27. And Mohamed Elarag, number 29, with James Anderson between the pipes. Jamani Anderson, the head coach for Alexandria, assisted by Hashim Anderson. And down right now is Sebastian Vargas, who finished up a sophomore year at Frostburg State. And slow to get up here, but it seems like he's going to be okay.
It looks like he's he's retying his shoe or something. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly that's a full-blown injury or what's happening over there, but it looks like he's just adjusting his boot there.
I do see some shoe tying. All right, he's up. So again, this game time was originally slated for 7 p.m., pushed back 1 hour just to help a little bit, take as much sun out of this one.
Yeah, and it's, it sounds like a pretty simple adjustment, but at least at this level, there's a lot of moving pieces that have to happen to make that work. So I want to actually say thanks to the league that was able to get the word to the referees and also to the Rough Diamonds for making the adjustment. I think it's to the benefit of the players.
Yeah.
And St. John's is pushed the lights back a little bit later. We actually bring food in for the players afterwards. Our pizza guys pushing it later. So there were a lot of little T's to cross and I's to dots, but it came together. So
I'll take that. Shout to the pizza guy. I'll do that any day.
There you go. Starvin' Marvin's.
That's right. So brief pause. It looks like Kian Dakuba maybe lost a shin guard, so They threw one back out to him. That was the extra delay there. 13 minutes played, no score yet between the two teams. Coach Ryerson wanting to start strong. He said the longer Alexandria stay in the game, at least it is the better for them, for Alexandria. For Frederick, they're wanting to separate as early as possible.
Coach Ryerson knows what he's talking about. Frederick would really like to have grabbed the goal early. I mean, it's still early, so maybe it could happen, but the earlier the better from Frederick's perspective. And
Ryerson is offsides. He's got a few goals this season, 3 of them.
Yeah, I think this is really a breakout season for Robbie. Last year we had he was carrying an injury, and he's scored some really nice goals for us. You might be able to tell me, but 3, is that maybe the leading scorer?
Yes, it is tied for first place.
Okay. And it's great to see because we expect him to be with us for the next couple of years and to get some goals now. And I know, like in the Annapolis game, watching that game, he hit the post in that game, so he's knocking on the door every game.
That's right. We're going to take things over here. Cole Hellert, by the way, is the other man who has 3 goals on this team for Frederick, who is unavailable tonight.
Yeah, Cole's presence is always a miss. He's really an engine and very versatile guy. And one of our guys from Northern Virginia that's on the roster. He's had a really great career up at Siena.
A run being made. They locate Ryerson and out. Also important to note, it looks like he's wearing that captain's armband, too.
It looks like that's the case. Yeah.
Breakout in many facets.
Mm-hmm.
SK not far away, but Anderson able to deal with it. One of the more experienced Division I players on this team, James Anderson, the goalie, senior over at Fairfield. He was the main starter really the last couple of seasons. Started about all but 6 this year with the Stags. Very weird season for that Stags team where they won 3 of their first 5 and then didn't win again until their last 3 games of the year.
That pattern sounds like there could have been a couple of key injuries that guys they got back at the end of the season. Maybe, you never know, but that sounds like a typical injury pattern in terms of results.
Happens a lot at this level. And playing in a difficult conference, too, in the MAC. 16 minutes played, still no score just yet. Frederick have had more ideas. James Anderson's been the busier of the 2 goaltenders. I think we have to talk about Luke Ryerson in goal for Frederick. He's played just about 30 minutes this season.
So one of the things, I'm very excited for Luke. I think he's another one that will be with this group for several years to come. And the challenge with goalkeeping is when you have someone that's doing a good job, you don't generally sub them. And Noah Kump has been doing fantastic. I think he has some family commitments this weekend, and so it's given an opportunity for Luke to jump in and show what he's got, and I expect to have a strong performance out of him.
And the backup tonight is Jacob McDonald, who is the backup to Ethan Russell, at least was last season over at Mount St. Mary's. Finds Bradley again, always asking the question. And Anderson does what he needs to do there.
And I think James is going to be looking for that curving bent ball that bends away from the goal of the Rough Diamonds to one of our players running in. That one he clipped it a little bit too far, but it wouldn't surprise me to see an assist from that type of build-up from him at some point this game.
He's certainly getting a lot of chances, that's for sure. Ryerson drops back for it. Quick little flick by Sean Weiland. And touchdown. Let's see if Alexandria can try and put something together, but SK makes sure it doesn't happen. And frustration from Inseke. Oh, it's given back towards Alexandria. And nearly made a meal out of it, but keeps the possession. Tossed towards Inseke, who just lost it moments ago, but the curler doesn't quite benefit him. Well, they had numbers there briefly, but just couldn't string the pieces together. Ryerson asking for it. He goes down. Play continues. Alden. He first started it up. A chase towards the corner for Cesar Rodriguez. It stays with the Rough Diamonds. Seems a little bit better here. They're adding in a little bit of the pace. Offsides. That line had pushed up just a smidge.
And that's on Sean Weiland's side of the field. Again, we'll have to look down to our stat guy. This is maybe the first or second start for Sean. And I like to point Sean out just because he's one of the guys that grew up with the club. If you watched an earlier broadcast, you may have heard me say that he's actually on the side of our trailer that we use to transport equipment around from a picture from when he was like 8 years old. So it's nice for him to work his way up into this level of our program.
Third start tonight this season.
There you go.
Yeah, Weiland Jr. out of Juniata, a team that went 6-9-1 this season, but he's played 48 games in his career there. And down is Inseke. He was holding that leg.
So I will say, if you look across the field, the Rough Diamonds weren't able to bring a lot of players for this game. I see 3 subs, if I'm counting correctly. So fatigue and injury could play a role in what they're able to do, and we have to kind of keep our eye on that because they just are not deep tonight.
Maybe another advantage of, at least for them, playing an hour later. Imagine playing at least in a little bit of sun with only 3 subs.
That's a very good point.
Smart there by Vargas. Well, now all of a sudden Alexandria having the ball just a little bit more. Growing into this game, you feel 20 minutes gone. To Kuba. Strong roll as that center back. Little flick by Stavro. He's got it now. So toss it inside. Alarag, the intended target, and a whistle before anything else can continue. And Frederick to start it up again here. Ankara just a little bit stronger than Aristenis. They'll switch fields again. This FC Frederick team, as we mentioned, just on the outside of the postseason, looking in. It is DMV Elite who are in the spot that they want right now, that 4 spot. This passage of play is brought to you by Griffith Energy Services, your trusted partner for all your heating, cooling, and fuel needs. Visit GriffithEnergyServices.com to learn more. Stay warm, stay cool, stay comfortable with Griffith Energy Services.
So, Christian, Rob just looks like he made an adjustment and switched Robbie Ryerson and John A. S.K. And what's generally that's about, a couple things. One, not allowing a defender to figure out all of what a certain player's qualities are, because if you move these guys side to side, a defender's now going to have to learn the tendencies of somebody else.
Ryerson cuts in nicely with his right foot. He could have a go here, and it's just a little too far. Knows he just barely missed it.
And the other piece, you see it right there with Robbie, is that if you have a right-footed guy on the left side, when they come across the face of the defense, they can hit it with their stronger foot. Same thing with John Andrew coming across the face of the defense. He can hit it with his left foot. So that's another reason why sometimes coaches like to play players on the opposite side, you might think, based on what their stronger foot is.
Well, because of the heat tonight, a water break is required. So about the midway point of this first half, they designate as the water break. Felt there was a good enough stoppage there, as both teams have been unable to score so far. We just talked about this moments ago, but this is what the table looks like right now. You see, though, even though DMV Elite and FC Frederick both have the same amount of points, DMV Elite do have a game in hand, but that's the spot that Frederick are at least looking for, maybe even the 3 spot. And certainly a result tonight will help that cause.
And Frederick still has Virginia Dream to play, so that's going to be another important game there. But getting 3 points out of this game is absolutely critical in terms of the playoff possibilities for Frederick.
Yeah, Frederick, that is their final game is against Virginia Dream. That is on June 29th. And again, we mentioned the team that they're trying to surpass perhaps is DMV Elites, who what they still have Virginia Dream, they still have Alexandria before they conclude things with Virginia Beach City. So they also have some difficult games coming up.
It's absolutely true, and I think across the league, everybody would acknowledge that Annapolis and Alexandria are a bit of a notch ahead of the rest, and so those slots aren't going to change, and then the battle for those last 2 is really what it's all about. I think it's come down to a race between 3 teams. The interesting thing is we all get to play each other, but the game against Alexandria that's still on the table, I can't remember if you said that was for DMV Elite or for Virginia Dream. That is going to be an expected result. I maybe shouldn't say it that way, but for Alexandria, it's a very strong team. Alexandria was very tough to play the other day.
Yep, DMV Elite, they play against Alexandria on June 30th.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game.
But they do also have Virginia Dream as well as their next game.
Okay.
Just shows you how quickly this season goes. We were just talking about, we were just doing the Annapolis game, it feels, and how this game and season had just kind of started, or a few games deep, and now all of a sudden talking about postseason. Aristenes has an opportunity after he just won the ball back.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight timeline for the league matches, the conference matches, which start in about mid-May. And part of the difficulty with it is this league is largely populated with college players, and some of those college guys haven't even left their exam periods in early May, and so we're trying to build a team around that. And then you get going, and then games finish up 10 games before the end of June, and then we're into playoff mode and see where that takes you. But it's tight for sure.
26 minutes gone, no score yet. Into the center, it's Brennan Gack, senior over at Bucknell. And this pass will try to ignite Robbie Ryerson. He sure has some pace, but Tamini's trying to match it. Well run by Ryerson. Throw in deep for Frederick. That's a race I'd like to see again, honestly.
2 pretty fast guys right there.
Let's see if Frederick can put something together here. Bradley. Right-footed cross in. Nobody else quite there. And a desperate heave.
I almost think Jack may have mishit that a little bit because that didn't really seem like it was heading to any Frederick guy. So.
Any changes that you'd make right now to get Frederick that first goal? Is there anything that maybe they're just missing right now?
So one of the things that we've mentioned before, so here maybe
here goes Eske. Opportunity coming in, thrown into the center for Ankara, and it goes away.
Looks like he a mishit. Is you don't, in other sports, you might change something by replacing a player. In the NPSL, you really don't see any personnel changes in the first half because once someone leaves the game, they're out for the rest of the game. So it's really about an adjustment like the one you saw Rob do, which was switching players like Robbie and John Andrew to see if that look changes some opportunities. The other thing you might do is try and get across to the guys just a sense of urgency to get in a mode where they're pressing the ball forward, as opposed to playing it around the back line, get the ball forward, get onto it, create pressure, or asking their front runners to pressure the back line of the Rough Diamonds a little bit more aggressively. The risk you have there is that type of activity from your front line is very tiring. So you're trying to strike this balance of, do I want my front runners tired because they're racing around trying to make it difficult for the back line of the Rough Diamonds, or conserve a little bit of energy so that when we do get a hold of the ball, they can actually beat someone 1v1, or you saw the speed that John A. showed and that Robbie showed. You want to have some of that in the tank so you can actually create the goals you need.
Good touch by Robbie Ryerson to find something, but too far ahead after that one's been booted by Jonathan Yowell. Another Mount St. Mary's man, just finished a junior year there.
Jonathan's been another absolute Ironman in the program the last couple of years. He's, I'm pretty sure, started almost every game he's played, and he plays almost every game. I don't know if he uses a different time of the summer to take vacations or what. And that's been true the last couple of years. He's been involved significantly every match that he's been available, with some versatility. Like he, in the Alexandria game, he began in the midfield and ended up at left back, and that's happened before too. So, it's nice to have guys that can fill multiple roles.
Certainly can do that over at Mount St. Mary's as well, where he's played in 12 games in back-to-back seasons. Very reliable. Scored his first collegiate goal this season. 41 total games with the Mountaineers. And Stavru takes at the edge of the box for Alexandria. Rodriguez on the opposite end and flips over Stavru. Couldn't corral it. Half hour has gone between Frederick and Alexandria. Still no goals yet tonight. Frederick have thrown a few more attempts on.
I think you'll see him play Robbie here. See what Robbie can do.
Right on the sideline. Looks to stay on it.
Good defending there.
And Robbie with the drag. Fouls in Seke. Robbie Ryerson is desperate for a goal tonight. He has maybe not stopped running tonight at that full pace.
One of the things you may remember from the Annapolis game a couple weeks ago, Robbie has very good field awareness, and he looked up and saw the Annapolis keeper off his line, significantly off his line, and just hit a shot from, 35, 40 yards that just floated over the keeper's head. And you have to, as an attacking player, be thinking, glancing up, seeing if the keeper's doing something that's not smart, and then be able to execute and take advantage of it.
Goes Eskay, dragged it to the left. Ryerson's found it again. In support is Brennan Gack. Bradley rotates. Villatoro also spent a brief stint last year with the Virginia Marauders in USL League 2, but most of his action coming with Frederick. Ankra finding something here with Yowell. Looks a little bit better for Frederick. Into the final third. Ryerson forward for Bradley. Goes across. Not bad. Certainly asked another question.
Great to see James get forward like that, and he has that ability. I would have hoped for maybe a ball that wasn't struck quite as. I don't think he was shooting it. I think he was trying to play it across the front of the goal, and with just a little bit less pace, we had two runners in there that either one could have gotten to it. But getting forward from the back line to be able to do that is the important piece. And I think you're going to see at least an assist from him this game.
It's an awkward hit off of Villatoro, but he recovered nicely. Stavru showing his frustration. He plays over at St. Francis, PA. He's played elsewhere, Frederick Community College, University of Dallas, and has played USL 2 with Patuxent. Ankara, good idea. Mitzelfeld looking and hits the side.
He's saying, okay, we got a corner kick out of that.
Took a glance somewhere and gives a thumbs up to his team. Let's take another look here. And we'll slice in Okay, sure indeed. Anderson grazing it there. Mitzelfelt, the senior out of York, PA. 15 goals in his career there with the Spartans. They keep this corner short. Eske looking to work his magic. Left-footed cross comes in! Oh, and it somehow stayed out. Offsides anyways against Villatoro.
Really good opportunity there. It's too bad something didn't come out of it.
Look at how quickly that was shot in. And Villatoro just shocked how quickly it came in at him. Maybe a shot for handball there too, but stays 0-0.
And was the call an offsides? I didn't quite see if that's what it was, or did you say it might have been a hand?
I thought it was offsides. Okay. I saw the flag go up on the opposite end.
If that's the case, that you credit to the Rough Diamonds, because in order to get that call, you have to have your back line step forward when the ball is played from John Andrew to Jonathan Yao, and Eric just maybe didn't catch that step and was in that space. But that's a quality that a back line, when they are able to execute that, it just suggests there's some quality there. And again, I think the Rough Diamonds are on a path to an improved record. It's just going to take a little time. My suspicions next season it'll be a stronger group overall.
Right now they've been holding their own, have not allowed a goal here tonight. This is a team whose lowest amount of goals allowed in a game this season is 3. That was the loss to Virginia Beach City FC back on June 2. Otherwise, everything else has been 5+, including the last game they played against Frederick. Got a goal from Cole Heller. Haven Thomas had one. Robbie Ryerson had one. Garrett Potts had one. About 10 minutes to go before the halftime break. Christian Taylor Boeske here with you tonight on
It's a good play by Zach Husseinian right there. First game for Frederick, and he just defensively read that really well. There's a good opportunity.
Here it comes. Takes a weird little hop there, and Anderson was really hoping.
My guess is Rob would have liked to seen Jack play that a little bit deeper. If you look, Jonathan Yao is moving in it. Well, you can't see from this camera angle. Jonathan Yao was doing a trailing run and was probably a little bit more open, and he didn't have to go through those couple of players for the Rough Diamonds.
Another corner kick. It was last touched off of Neaza Tamini. Quickly tossed in as Eske gets one to roll over the line. Had just enough mustard on it, and Frederick opened up the scoring in the 37th minute.
It's good to be good. It's also good to have a little luck on your side. I think the replay is going to show that, maybe the keeper saved it and it bounced off the post a little bit and went in? Is that what the replay shows?
Either way, a back-breaking goal, at least on the Alexandria side of things. Had everything mostly drawn up there, but just couldn't keep it out. Too much there from SK.
And if you caught the beginning part of that play, it was a short corner that came back to John Andrew, who was able to use some of his speed to get by the defender. The defender probably thought that Jonathan Yao was going to serve it, but that breaking through allowed that to happen. So sometimes these kind of trick corners versus just a big ball played in for a direct head can be helpful.
All-time leader in games played, John A. Eske, and has yet another goal.
That goal actually is his 15th career goal for Frederick, and that puts him at number 5 on the all-time scoring list. So now he's got some nervous older brothers, I think. We'll see.
Giving back here, let's see what this goal does to this game. If it gives Frederick a little more confidence, or if Alexandria starts chasing it a little bit more. Or
if Alexandria could have gotten to halftime, even up, I think it would have been a challenging second half. But that goal is going to have – goals change games is the phrase that soccer guys use. And the reason they say that is because Alexandria now has to make some decisions. Do they continue to sit a little bit deeper and just try and keep a low score line? Or do they open up and start pressing a little higher, which will give Frederick more room to operate and potentially get more goals? So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any sort of adjustment. Because as of right now, I don't know that Luke Ryerson has a save.
This is Robbie Ryerson now. He has his chance. Curls another. Punched away, Anderson.
So you're seeing also this adjustment Rob made where he switched Robbie and John A. to opposite sides of the field, a righty playing on the left side and a lefty playing on the right side. It is creating exactly the sort of thing he was hoping for, more disruption, more unpredictability that Alexandria has to sort out, and it's creating chances. So it's a good coaching move.
Has changed it a little bit, too, hasn't it? Another one from distance, always rising. 40th minute, 1-0 for Frederick. Goal scored by John A. Eske in the 37th minute. So we mentioned what he did over at William & Mary. Transferred to South Carolina, had 12 games there. Most recently played with Shepherd there in Division II at 17 games. Scored his first collegiate goal as well.
Yeah, he, again, I know a little bit about his soccer journey. He somehow got 6 years of playing at the collegiate level, which was fun for his parents to kind of chase him around and watch. But a lot of that, there was two factors in that. One, obviously, was COVID. All the Division I guys got an extra year. And then he had a medical redshirt year 1 year at William & Mary.
2019.
Yep. And so that's what allowed him to get the extra couple bonus years.
And you can add another city to that, St. Louis Ambush as well.
Yeah, he's really enjoying that experience. He's playing out there with his older brother, William, who also played in the club and played for the NPSL team for a number of years. And after he finished the season at Shepherd, he got in his car and went out to the Ambush and worked out with them, and they signed him. And he had a nice, I don't know if it's called a rookie season. I would say freshman season. Nice rookie season at St. Louis. And I think is looking forward to more.
Being, of course, indoor, St. Louis Ambush.
Yes.
I mean, do you feel like he needed to change his game a little bit for that, or is a lot of it just kind of carry over?
I would say there's a lot of learning that happens for someone that's played outdoor their whole life to adjust to the indoor game. But I think there's also a lot of growth just as a player from playing indoor and then coming back outdoor. So his confidence on the ball, his decision-making is a little bit quicker. You know, the thing about indoors, the space is constricted and everything moves a lot faster. So I think you see some great benefits from doing both. You know, it's an American indoor soccer. You're able to use the walls, but so many of the best players in the world talk about their experience as futsal players as being the major contributor to the way they developed in the game. Yeah. It just creates an opportunity to be more technical, tighter with the ball, and then very quicker decision-making because the space is so tight and that sort of thing. So,
well, shot going off the side of the net, and look at this. Alexandria looking to make a change here before halftime. Again, they're very limited on that bench. Stavro is the one who is going to looked like he was going to head off. He balked them.
Different is happening. Maybe they filled out the substitution card differently.
Yeah, also possible.
So the referees do not like whatever's happening over there, where there's some confusion about who's coming on and coming off, but I guess they will get it sorted out. This is actually the point. So these NPSL games, all high-level games, are staffed with a four-man crew. So you have a center and two ARs on the sideline, and then the fourth official is there to kind of make sure all of these little procedural things, you know, there's a form you have to fill out to bring a new sub in and tell them who's coming off, and if you don't do that correctly, it looks like they did not. Did they let him come in? It doesn't look like it. They're still.
It looks like they took out somebody else. We'll confirm that number for you in a moment. But the guy who's come on is Dennis Milkovic.
Okay.
Played with Maryland United FC, the 23-year-old. Looking to do something here tonight now. That was him who just had one graze off of that right foot. So, yeah, Stavros stayed in. It actually looks like another change might happen here shortly, too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess the difference between a change at the 43rd minute and a halftime is not really that much. Maybe it gives someone an opportunity to get their legs under them a little bit. You just typically see the change happen at halftime, or you start to see a lot more changes, 15 minutes after half and into that space.
Perhaps just how quickly Coach Jamani Anderson wants to get his team back on the scoreboard. Perhaps a change to help him out. Certainly put some height out there. Looks like perhaps the change was Sega Kabede. Where's number 8 for Alexandria?
Ooh,
look at that
touch
from Agra. Dipped in there.
That's amazing. Just a wonderful little bit of skill there in a very tight space. Little flick, kept the ball. Just needed a little bit more quality on that next pass he was trying to make.
SK receives, hits it to his left. He somehow stays on it here. Seeing what he tries to do. Kicked out. Yowell nearly tripped up. Staying strong defensively is Alexandria. And now could come their break. Ellerag tried the flick, and now Ryerson finds it.
Sean Weiland to Robbie Ryerson.
Inside the box, looping it back. Offsides.
Not sure who exactly that was on, but could have been a couple people.
So it looks like there's why there was a little bit of confusion, because Stavro is going to come off. He thought that was the exact time his number was going to be called off. Not yet. Played another 2 minutes, and now he's officially off.
So we're now into injury time, which just, I don't know, seems like an unusual time to make a change, but
Ryerson. Bankrupt. By the way, it's Emmanuel Mbakup who is out there. Had a late chance against Virginia Beach City that he just barely missed in that 3-2 loss. Down to the right again. Frederick looking to see if they can put together one more twist in this first half. Offsides again, just barely. Well, Mitzelfeld scored anyways if he'd wanted to.
It's actually a nice little piece of skill that he did, flick it over the guy's head. Too bad it didn't count.
Thoughts of this first half as it's coming to a close?
I would say Frederick's going to be a little bit disappointed to not be at least 2 goals up, because a 1-0 lead is not a lot, even if you're dominating possession. Defensively, everything seems solid. I mean, you got a couple new guys in there that are doing a good job, and Zach Husseinian and James Bradley, and they really haven't had anything threatening, and we've had a lot, but still to only be up 1-0. 1-0 is just kind of a dangerous score, because if they were to get a corner kick or anything and tie it and then sit in, it would present problems for getting those the points they need on the table.
Shots right now are 12-1 for Frederick. Forced 3 saves for James Anderson. And offsides are 6-1 for Frederick. But there's the halftime whistle. The lone goal of that first half belonging to John A. Eske. Our player to watch scored in the 37th minute. And just got one to roll over that line. Just beat James Anderson, and that is how it stands, 1-0. Tonight's game is brought to you by Vertical Data Engineering Systems, VDS, your premier partner for innovative information technology solutions. Specializing in IT modernization, managed technology services, enterprise risk management, cyber AI advisory, and cloud services, VDS helps businesses understand the significance in keeping up with evolving business practices and information technology to drive success. They'll collaborate with you to achieve the desired results. Visit www.verticaldataes.com to learn more. Elevate your enterprise and information security strategy with Vertical Data Engineering Systems. We'll take a quick break here. 1-0 in favor of FC Frederick. See what Frederick can do in the second half and if Alexandria can find their way back in after this here on YouTube.
Hello, I'm Jackie Eske. I'm the Academy 1 director for FC Frederick. The age groups in our Academy 1 are our U5 all the way through our U9. So it covers 5 age groups for the Academy 1 program. One of the unique things in the Academy 1 program is the development of coaches, a little bit different than any other part of the club. We rely exclusively on volunteer coaches, and then I will start getting them acclimated with coaching youth, which is a big difference than probably the experience that they have with the game.
My name is Tim Ennis. I have 2 sons in the FC Frederick Club. A couple of seasons ago, Coach Jackie brought me in to help coach the Academy kids. I've really loved the experience. It's been so much fun being out here with the kids week after week, seeing them improve as soccer players, seeing the team improve. Look forward to being able to be with the program in the future.
Hi, I'm Dan Mulcahy. I have 2 sons in the Academy 1 program. I've coached at the club and high school level. I played at Loyola University. Obviously, I'm a parent, but because I have some experience playing and coaching soccer, I, of course, volunteered my services to help coach. I think just the fact that every kid has a ball, every kid's on the field, everyone's playing all of the time. We keep the kids moving. There's not a lot of sitting around and listening to coach draw up X's and O's on a chalkboard. At this age, that's just a waste of time. They really should just be playing and exploring and finding a love for the game, and that's really what we're doing here, which is great.
We try to catch them being good is the term that we use positive influence to make them feel confident. We've been very successful over these years. A lot of our coaches came in, had some interest in the game, and have gone forward and gotten their national Ds, their national Cs, and a couple their national Bs.
As far as this club goes, you're not really going to find a better sort of coaching format or playing format for little kids and their development as a player. My sons especially are excited about doing the moves and sort of built-in self-challenge opportunities that the club provides with their curriculum. So yeah, overall it's just been a really great experience as a parent and as a volunteer coach.
We've created very specific curriculums for each age group, as opposed to just kind of taking general guidelines. For example, like U8, let's play 4v4, where now we have benchmarks that we want to see with each age group. We're making sure they're meeting those benchmarks, and we're constantly adjusting it so that it is working well with the kids.
The club is really great with both teaching kids how to be better soccer players as individuals and how to grow together as a team.
We're super excited because the numbers are growing fantastically. We've almost doubled in size in the past 2 years in our academy, and we're really producing great kids that are going forward into our upper level.
Hello, this is Chuck Homey. I'm the Marvelous Mercersburg Camp Director, coming to you with another great camp this year, 2023, here at the beautiful Mercersburg Academy. This year, we're excited. We set a camp record. We have 123 campers here, 20 staff members from the club, which is just fantastic. We're excited to be here. It's a beautiful facility, great dorms, dining hall is awesome. The soccer facilities are second to none. Indoor facilities, the natatorium, the kids get to experience all of these things.
The camp has been really fun so far. Like, it's not just soccer, there's a bunch of fun activities for the kids to do. Swimming, tie-dyeing shirts. They're gonna have a competition later for who has the cleanest room.
There's a ton of different games and drills that help you improve your soccer skills. The coaches and counselors here are super nice and helpful and help you and improve your game.
We just finished tie-dyeing. You get to take back a shirt, and it's kind of like a souvenir and a memory from having fun at Mercersburg.
We get to take a break from doing soccer, and we just get to hang out with our friends.
Yeah, it's also a time to talk with your friends and figure out what kind of skits you're doing.
So the best part about camp in general is when you're just hanging out with your friends and having a good time. And when you're at the session, you get to learn more about soccer than you would if you were just sitting at home.
Today is the Mercersburg Skills Fest morning. Kids have a lot of fun with this. It consists of 5 competitions, which they all love to do. We've got power shot, we've got slalom dribbling, we've got speed juggling, we've got soccer golf, and we've also got freestyle moves, which everybody really, really loves. It gives them all an opportunity to try different things. We've already gotten juggling records out here this morning, and they have a lot of fun. There's a lot of excitement for it.
It's also really fun to see how competitive the kids are, just like laughing and cheering each other on, but wanting to get the best score.
Skills Fest was so fun. My particular favorite was the shooting. I like the shooting ball. That's wrong. Yeah, I like the freestyle.
We're here at the annual bathing part of the camp. This is a lot of fun. It's the makeshift slip and slide down the hill here. The kids absolutely love it.
Behind us is an awesome slip and slide that all of us just went down. It's incredibly fun!
We wrapped up last night with our FCF Broadway night and all of our skits, which were amazing. All the campers did a great job, had a blast, had a lot of fun. We had an awesome counselor skit as well.
All the skits last night were super funny, and everybody enjoyed making them.
We're out here on the last day playing 7-on-7 for these boys. It's nice to see, after 3 days work, having them put it all together for a little tournament at the end. We just did the counselors game once again. The counselors won. It's a pretty commanding victory. I had most assists in that game, so I'm proud of that.
Unfortunately, I hit the post. I'm still a little upset about that, but I'll get over it.
We're going to finish up here soon and give prizes out for our campers of the week and our futsal winners and mini tournament winners and all sorts of things like that. And as you can see, we're here at a beautiful place with beautiful grass fields and excellent players, and it's really just been a top-of-the-line week here at Mercersburg.
Everybody's having a great time when they're here, so it's just really fun.
It's a lot of fun, the food is great, and I think everybody should come and enjoy it.
The best part about camp is we get to share it with our friends! Yay!
And we hope everybody comes back next year.
One of the things that we are, as a staff, as an organization, very proud of is our commitment to bringing high-quality, experienced coaches in to work with our teams and players, and also the commitment that the club has towards those coaches in terms of coaching education and helping them advance their own coaching knowledge. So currently in the club, we have between 60 and 65 licensed coaches. In the U.S. youth soccer world, you can have different licensing levels. The highest level is A license, then B license, C license, D license. We have, I believe we're at 3 or 4 A licenses. We have, I think it's 8 B licenses, 10, 12, 13 C licenses, and then the rest D licenses. That level of commitment to get a license, you're giving up weekends and weeks, and you're doing virtual learning, and you are getting evaluated via video and in person about how you're handling kids and running sessions. So it's a big commitment, and to have that many licensed coaches is something that we're proud of. Every year we take in the range of 20 to 30 coaches to the United Soccer Coaches Convention. This past year it happened to be in Philadelphia. We were informed that we had got more coaches than any other club in the country, which is sort of strange, being in a relatively small community here in Frederick, Maryland. And things like that cost money, but we know that investment in what the coaches and the coaches' learning and education brings back so many benefits to the families that are involved in our organization.
Hello, I'm Jackie Eskay. I'm the Academy 1 director for FC Frederick. The age groups in our Academy 1 are our U5 all the way through our U9. So it covers 5 age groups for the Academy 1 program. One of the unique things in the Academy 1 program is the development of coaches, a little bit different than any other part of the club. We rely exclusively on volunteer coaches, and then I will start getting them acclimated with coaching youth, which is a big difference than probably the experience that they have with the game.
My name is Tim Ennis. I have 2 sons in the FC Frederick club. A couple of seasons ago, Coach Jackie brought me in to help coach the Academy kids. I really loved the experience. It's been so much fun being out here with the kids week after week, seeing them improve as soccer players, seeing the team improve. Look forward to being able to be with the program in the future.
Hi, I'm Dan Mulcahy. I have 2 sons in the Academy 1 program. I've coached at the club and high school level. I played at Loyola University. Obviously, I'm a parent, but because I have some experience playing and coaching soccer, I, of course, volunteered my services to help coach. I think just the fact that every kid has a ball, every kid's on the field, everyone's playing all of the time. We keep the kids moving. There's not a lot of sitting around and listening to coach draw up X's and O's on a chalkboard. At this age, that's just a waste of time. They really should just be playing and exploring and finding a love for the game, and that's really what we're doing here, which is great.
We try to catch them being good is the term that we use. Use positive influence to make them feel confident. We've been very successful over these years. A lot of our coaches came in, had some interest in the game, and have gone forward and gotten their national Ds, their national Cs, and a couple their national Bs.
As far as this club goes, you're not really going to find a better sort of coaching format or playing format for little kids and their development as a player. My sons especially are excited about doing the moves and sort of built-in self-challenge opportunities that the club provides with their curriculum. So yeah, overall it's just been a really great experience as a parent and as a volunteer coach.
We've created very specific curriculums for each age group, as opposed to just kind of taking general guidelines. For example, like U8, let's play 4v4, where now we have benchmarks that we want to see with each age group. We're making sure they're meeting those benchmarks, and we're constantly adjusting it so that it is working well with the kids.
The club is really great with both teaching kids how to be better soccer players as individuals and how to grow together as a team.
We're super excited because the numbers are growing fantastically. We've almost doubled in size in the past 2 years in our academy, and we're really producing great kids that are going forward into our upper level.
Hello, this is Chuck Homey. I'm the Marvelous Mercersburg Camp Director, coming to you with another great camp this year, 2023, here at the beautiful Mercersburg Academy. This year, we're excited. We've set a camp record. We have 123 campers here, 20 staff members from the club, which is just fantastic. We're excited to be here. It's a beautiful facility, great dorms, dining hall is awesome. The soccer facilities are second to none. Indoor facilities, the natatorium, the kids get to experience all of these things.
The camp has been really fun so far. Like, it's not just soccer, there's a bunch of fun activities for the kids to do. Swimming, tie-dyeing shirts. They're gonna have a competition later for who has the cleanest room.
There's a ton of different games and drills that help you improve your soccer skills. The coaches and counselors here are super nice and helpful and help you and improve your game.
We just finished tie-dyeing. You get to take back a shirt, and it's kind of like a souvenir and a memory from having fun at Mercersburg.
We get to take a break from doing soccer, and we just get to hang out with our friends.
Yeah, it's also a time to talk with your friends and figure out what kind of skits you're doing.
So the best part about camp in general is when you're just hanging out with your friends and having a good time. And when you're at the session, you get to learn more about soccer than you would if you were just sitting at home.
Today is the Mercersburg Skills Fest morning. Kids have a lot of fun with this. It consists of 5 competitions, which they all love to do. We've got power shot, we've got slalom dribbling, we've got speed juggling, we've got soccer golf, and we've also got freestyle moves, which everybody really, really loves. It gives them all an opportunity to try different things. We've already gotten juggling records out here this morning, and they have a lot of fun. There's a lot of excitement for it.
It's also really fun to see how competitive the kids are, just laughing and cheering each other on, but wanting to get the best score.
Skills Fest was so fun. My particular favorite was the shooting. I like the shooting ball. That's wrong. Yeah, I like the freestyle.
We're here at the annual bathing part of the camp. This is a lot of fun. It's the makeshift slip and slide down the hill here. The kids absolutely love it.
Behind us is an awesome slip and slide that all of us just went down. It's incredibly fun!
We wrapped up last night with our FCF Broadway night and all of our skits, which were amazing. All the campers did a great job, had a blast, had a lot of fun. We had an awesome counselor skit as well.
All the skits last night were super funny, and everybody enjoyed making them.
We're out here on the last day playing 7-on-7 for these boys. It's nice to see, after 3 days work, having them put it all together for a little tournament at the end. We just did the counselors game once again. The counselors won. It's a pretty commanding victory. I had most assists in that game, so I'm proud of that.
Unfortunately, I hit the post. I'm still a little upset about that, but I'll get over it.
We're going to finish up here soon and give prizes out for our campers of the week and our futsal winners and mini tournament winners and all sorts of things like that. And as you can see, we're here at a beautiful place with beautiful grass fields and excellent players, and it's really just been a top-of-the-line week here at Mercersburg.
You see that last guy?
And welcome back, everybody, here to the start of the second half. FC Frederick hosting Alexandria Rough Diamonds. Christian Taylor, Bo Eske here with you. FC Frederick with the 1-0 lead. In the 37th minute, it was John A. Eske who just put enough finesse on the ball to squeeze it past James Anderson, and that has been the lone difference maker so far. There is a change here for the start of the second half for FC Frederick. No more Mitzelfeld. He's been replaced by Obi Anochi, and see how that change looks to benefit head coach Rob Ryerson, who's looking to push away Alexandria here tonight. Just about a minute gone here. Sean Weiland here on the right side. Get a chance to take a look at him a little bit closer now on our near side. Nochi's immediately come in and added a little bit of strength and speed out there.
Yeah, I think if we'd had a microphone in the halftime locker room, my guess is Rob talked about the urgency of getting a second goal. So you will probably see guys flying around. The sub with Obi. Obi has energy. He's quick, physically strong. I think it's designed to try and have the Rough Diamonds make a mistake, cough something up, put one away, because if we get to 2, then the game is probably in hand. The longer 1-0 sticks around, it's anybody's guess.
Corner kick right out of that, heads towards the captain and Jacques Aristhenes. A little bit of pace here. Needing to deal with this one is Hosseinian, who is making his Frederick debut tonight. See, Alexandria can try and put together. Well, they had a couple decent moments as the first half went along. Strung together a couple bits of possession. Never really quite got a full-blown look. Just had one shot in that entire first half. Certainly the more busier of the two keepers was James Anderson. But they've got some pace out there, that's for sure. It's been on display, especially from this guy, Niaza Tamini. He tries to cut inside. I almost feel like he's an attacker who's playing defense right now. He is so quick on that ball.
And you probably, my guess is Rob has encouraged the guys to be a little bit more risky. And what I mean by that is not being afraid to send an extra guy forward to add another number into the attack, just because there haven't been really any dangerous situations coming the other way, so they can risk another guy forward perhaps to try and create a goal.
Yowell to SK and a heavy touch. Alexandria looking to deal out of the danger, and restart coming for the visitors. So they're in the black and gold tonight. Alexandria, it is Frederick in the blue and white this evening. Switching sides here for the second half. And it is Alexandria who have been on the losing end every time this season. Their closest game, as we mentioned, was against Virginia Beach, where they lost by 1. Otherwise, everything else has been a pretty hefty
Good
loss,
touch,
and
good
we'll see what happens
through.
here. Eske's received another one from Yowell. Just has to weave around here. Good response by Alexandria just to drop everybody else back there.
With the run that John Andrews is making there, I think the ball that Coach Ryerson was probably hoping to see was one that was played in front of John Andrew to run on, because he'd already gotten up to his speed. And because it was a little bit behind, what that did was force him to play it back towards his own team and then keep possession passed around. But these are the moments where playing a ball through a gap for someone to run onto can create the goal that you may be looking for.
Well, it was a header opportunity for Anochi there in the center. The second year with Frederick, 2 goals in his career. He scored in the lone win of last season against Northern Virginia United FC. And then you can remember he scored, he scored both of them in that game. He scored as a concussion protocol sub and then fully on as the official sub later. That's how they won the game.
And I was at that game. I remember both situations. It caused a little controversy at the time, the concussion sub, resub. Oh, there's a good chance. But Obi was a nice find last year, not someone that we really knew anything about, and found us through the tryout process and is a good player, and we were lucky to find him now. And we actually missed him in the front part of the season. I can't remember if he had some family commitments or school, but he's been with us the last few games and is a big help.
Yeah, the concussion protocol sub is something that everybody's still trying to figure out a little bit. Remember in the U.S. Open Cup a few years ago, Westchester United were the guilty party. They threw somebody on when they thought they could against FC Motown. Westchester won the game. Motown protested it because of that sub, and eventually they replayed the game. Motown beat Westchester just because of that substitution protocol, but as we mentioned, Frederick got it to work in their favor, used it correctly.
I mean, the idea behind it is strong, which is a heightened level of attention to concussion injuries. The tricky thing in a league that requires when you leave the game that you can't come back in is how to handle that, because maybe the examination process of a concussion, it turns out the guy wasn't actually concussed and he can play. So it's, everybody's intending the right things, but trying to find out exactly how to make it work can present some challenges.
And it's a much needed and enforced emphasis on head injuries, and the officials really on all levels, any sport, are really dialing in on that. It's been a good change to the game. Chance in the center for Gack. Now it's Ryerson. We'll run onto this one. We'll look to cross it. Hits it pretty deep and angled away by Aristhenes. Corner kick coming up for Frederick. Take another glance at this one. See how well Ankara took his counterpart in Mbakub off the ball. And it all just kind of went from there. That's the captain, Aristhenes. Really one of the best players on this Alexandria team. A lot of energy out there.
So we actually know Jacques well. He was with us last year. And really the change this year, he had some changes, personal changes, family-wise, new baby, job opportunity, and the Rough Diamonds are close to where he lives, so the ability to get to training sessions and stuff. So it was, we were sad to see him go, but totally understood that you got to make some adjustments sometimes to make your life work. But he's definitely a good pickup for them, and I agree with you. He's right now, I think, their best guy.
He's been kind of all over the place tonight, trying to will his team to something here. You know he's got a little bit of fire in him tonight, playing against FC Frederick. Here on the left, it ping-ponged around a little bit before it sails out. Anochi was dealing with 2 players in front of him and almost slithered through. 54th minute, still 1-0 for Frederick. They're trying to knock on the door for a second. Alexandria have not opened it. Ryerson has received it again. So quick with those feet. Here he goes again. Decent idea. Anochi hanging nearby, but a goal kick.
Yeah, what he was trying to do, didn't quite get it done, was get the ball past the front post, because if you can do that, then someone crashing in like Obi has an opportunity to just have a redirection touch, and it's on frame and in. But it was shorter than that, so when Obi got to it, he was past the near post, and so it's really hard to bend that back into the goal mouth from that angle.
Well, the two were wrapped around each other here, both Ankra and Elarag, and Elarag has received a yellow. That's the first caution shown tonight. Elarag, who just finished up a senior season over at Emory and Henry. No action in his last 2 seasons there with the Wasps. His playing time, it's been limited in his whole collegiate career, but he's had 12 games over at Richard Bland College. 55 minutes played. Really looking to weave through as it's lost here to the back. Reset, though. Weiland, deep ball, but Anderson had it read the whole way.
Yeah, a game like this is where we miss a player like Seth Crabb that was available to us earlier on, and we're hoping if we find our way into the playoffs that Seth's available again. Seth is a big frame target player that plays the 9, the high striker position, and a ball like that Sean served in is sort of their bread and butter, because they can use their size and strength to hold guys off and maybe bring it down and turn and shoot, or get a nice flick on with their head because they're big enough to win those. This isn't really a crew we have right now that's designed for that type of aerial attack, let's say. We don't have the big target that you would hope for, so we're going to be more successful with some beating guys in 1v1 situations, or a ball through running on, some things like that are most likely.
Ankra, line drive. Ryerson back to it. Oh, turns the corner and centered up. Not out of the danger area just yet. A quick throw coming from Weiland. Didn't waste any time with it. Left-footed cross by Yowell. Ankra very comfortably takes it. Used to work his feet into the center for Yowell. He's off balance a little bit.
So
maybe failed him there.
Daniel did a nice job, nice little bit of 1v1 to get by his guy. What he did next, he unfortunately lifted the ball, and that is a much, much harder ball to redirect on frame. You saw Jonathan was doing his best, but if he could have kept that ball low, I'm thinking that's a goal.
So Anderson was trying to keep that in and keep play going, but the official deems it as a goal kick, went all the way out. Yeah, Daniel Ankra, who passed that ball and graduated from Loyola back in 2010, just under 80 games in his career there with them. 10 goals, 9 assists. As a sophomore, was an all-MAC first-team selection. They were still in the MAC at that time before they moved over to the Patriot League. But Coach Ryerson just loves to have him in there because he'll give you minutes, and he just has seen it all. He knows how to do it and makes all the smart moves.
You know, and Rob's instinct is spot on, as always. You know, it's really great for the younger guys, and as we've mentioned, we have some younger guys in the mix, to have someone that's more experienced on the field, and just as a learning opportunity. Daniel's a good player too, but just to see how he handles situations, the way he carries himself, all of that. Actually, I'll make the point a different way. Haven't spoken as much about the entire coaching staff that Rob has with him, but one of the guys that is Rob's assistant this year is a younger coach named Colin Vitti. This is his second year working with Rob in our NPSL program. And Colin, another story that I like to tell, because Colin started with our organization when he was 7 or 8 years old, played his entire time with the club.
SK looking for another, and a wonderful save by Anderson.
And then decided as part of his journey he wanted to have coaching be a piece of it. So he's gone out and gets he has a C license already and is coaching some of the stronger teams in the club, and takes the opportunity that's here in the summer to work with someone like Rob and just absorb the knowledge that Rob has to share. So we're excited that Colin is in. Oh, it's another almost opportunity. Colin's taking to get knowledge and then push it out to our club players from someone like Coach Ryerson.
Not too far away were Frederick there on that chance. That's a header by Eske towards Anochi that he was just behind. And this game has 60 minutes gone, almost gone. They're at midfield now for Frederick, and wasn't the greatest of passes. Alexandria looking to do something with it. Can't quite do it. The defense has passed the test tonight, and Ryerson tried bringing it back. And a quick throw for Alexandria here as Ryerson tried to get back to it. Quick no-look pass by McGuire Alden, and a throw for Frederick. This Passage of Play is brought to you by Griffith Energy Services, your trusted partner for all your heating, cooling, and fuel needs. Visit GriffithEnergyServices.com to learn more. Stay warm, stay cool, stay comfortable with Griffith Energy Services. Frederick on the front foot again. 1-0 is their lead. Surly won a second. A lot of looks towards that back line. I'll tell you what, James Anderson, I feel, has read this game pretty well. He's not afraid to go off his line, and even when he has been tested, besides, the one goal that kind of rolled through him and off the post, he's answered everything that Frederick have thrown at him.
I mean, it's too early to identify this, but as of now, he would be the MVP for sure. He's really been solid back there and dealt with everything that Frederick's thrown his way other than the one shot.
Yep. So much of goalkeeping just has to do with just knowing where to beat, knowing where to slow down any potential threat. It's the goalie, Luke Ryerson, involved for one of the first times tonight, but now in some trouble is James Bradley over there, but he finds a way through, and now Anochi trying to do something. He couldn't pass it to Yowell. He was offsides. And a clean tackle, says the official, but a corner kick for Frederick.
That's a great job by Obi, just recognizing that he may have the defender a little bit speed-wise and got by him and essentially had to get fouled. So drew an opportunity for a restart here. We'll see if Frederick can do something with it.
And a good handful of corners tonight. They had 3 by halftime.
So maybe that wasn't a foul, I guess. I thought that was a foul. Okay, just a corner.
Villatoro has found it back here. Passes to his Mount St. Mary's teammate in Yowell, and nothing much else comes from it.
So again, I mentioned earlier the absence of Seth Crabb, sort of a big target guy, and one of the things that you may have noticed, I would say more than half of the corner kicks that FC Frederick's had, it hasn't been a direct service into the center of the area, what you might otherwise do if you had a guy like Seth. So they're doing things like playing it back, maybe a little trick play to try and create something off of corner kicks.
Ryerson taking up a different position now, has to back away again, quickly swarmed. Ankara, great on the ball again, but a little poke away. Alexandria have answered some of these quick moments from Frederick. You're going to see them do it again. Firstly, that was brilliant, but then just one little swipe does enough. So it doesn't look like, ever since that goal went in for Frederick, that the game plan's changed up for Alexandria.
I agree. It's not, they're still keeping guys, back, a lot of guys behind the ball instead of throwing them forward. Now, in a way, look, it makes sense, because another way that you might define a victory when you're having a season like they're having is by reducing the number of goals against. So if they are able to say that this is the lowest number of goals that have gone against them, maybe it's a sort of a victory, right? But ordinarily, if you're in the hunt for things, you would start to get more guys forward and create more opportunities for Frederick to get into the spaces created by those guys going forward.
Yellow card shown to Leon Nseke, fouling Ankara there. So Nseke, who is the freshman out of Concord, sees his caution here. Actually hails from Cameroon. There at Concord this season, he only played a couple of games. Team that went 8-5-7 this year, lost in the MEC tournament to Charleston. It's a really good team after beating West Virginia Wesleyan. Looking for a little bit more this summer. Certainly playing with Alexandria is going to help. Eske went down. And now the official will stop the play. We'll bring it back here. And it looks like I think they're going to give it to Alexandria. Quick drop ball there. Again, as Coach Ryerson had told me before this game, the longer this game goes, the better it is for Alexandria if it's close. And again, even though Alexandria are down, it is just one goal. Anything can happen. Looking for their first ever results. Yowell will be the man.
So now Jonathan is a lefty, so this is going to swing away from the goalkeeper. So a lot of whether or not this is successful is going to have a lot to do with the angle and timing of these runs coming in from the Frederick guys. Sometimes in a situation like this, you'd have a right-footed guy that would spin a ball in that's going to the goalkeeper.
Pop down here. Eske's in the area and kicked away. It was down and nobody was really quite doing anything with it. Actually, it seemed like it was Tamini who first got ahead to it, but just didn't go the way he wanted it to. Goal kick, last touch off of Frederick. Fascinating evening that this has turned out to be. Still a lot of time left. At least 23 minutes and counting. And the Rough Diamonds right now allowing the least amount of goals they've done in a game this season. Their previous low is 3 to Virginia Beach City FC in a 3-2 loss. Now it's Bradley. Stays on his feet here. Guarded by Vargas. Cross is in. It's another cross that's been dealt with by Alexandria. Now a potential break here for Mbaka, and all of a sudden lost it.
Good play by Zach Husseinian. Just to step up and recognize the situation and win it. Oh, it's an unfortunate touch.
Weiland hits the deck and gets the foul call. Yeah, Hosseinian, we haven't needed to mention him too much just because he's been doing his job there on defense.
So Zach, I first met Zach when he was a youth player playing it for the Loudon Soccer Club. He played on a team that actually won a national championship, but he and John Andrew and a variety of other players went to a tournament in Sweden called the Gothia Cup, very prestigious and famous tournament, and Zach was kind of one of the key players from that group, and he and John Andrew met each other there and ended up being college roommates at William & Mary, so just kind of a little full circle type of thing.
Wow. And a water break is deemed here out, I guess, somewhat midway through this second half, as these two teams, I mean, there's another advantage to this besides there being a water break, but the coaches can use it as a mid-half timeout, if you will. So maybe one final throw of the cards down for Coach Ryerson before he sends in potentially some substitutes. This passage of play is brought to you by Vertical Data Engineering Systems, specializing in IT modernization, managed technology services, enterprise risk management, cyber AI advisory, and cloud services. Visit www.verticaldataes.com to learn more. Elevate your enterprise and information security strategy with Vertical Data Engineering Systems. What do you think the conversation is right now?
So it is going to be completely focused on creating dangerous situations so we might get a goal. Rob has no reason to think or worry about anything on our half of the field and protecting our goal because there just haven't been any threats. So it's something to do with how we might break down or break through to get an opportunity. And, it's interesting. You mentioned before the promo read there that it is unusual when there's excessive heat. It's not unusual to have a break, but generally in soccer you play the full 45. So unlike most other sports that we're familiar with in the American sports scene, the opportunities for mid-game adjustments just don't really exist other than maybe a coach shouting something out. But, football, every 40 seconds, the coach gets to put another play in or put different players in. Basketball, lots of subs, everything, but not soccer. And that's part of the reason why there's such a premium on guys that understand the game and can think their way through situations and recognize, hey, if this isn't working, we should try this. But once in a while, in a water break scenario, or sometimes you might see it in an injury where someone's down, then the players might go over to the coach. But there's really very little a coach can do once the game starts other than at halftime and by trying to change the game via subs.
There's another look at John Eske. He's the lone goal scorer tonight. Did so in the 37th minute. You see him chatting with Jacques Aristzenis.
Yeah, couple former teammates right there checking in.
So now play resumes. Perhaps straight play for 20 minutes, barring anything else. 1-0, still the lead for FC Frederick. We're trying to sneak into that postseason. A win would put them up to 15 points. DMV Elite is the team who they're battling with right now. So too Virginia Dream, but DMV Elite, the team right in above them, still with a couple games in hand.
Yeah, it's interesting. In a normal NPSL season, reaching the 15-point level or plateau would be enough to get into the playoffs. The wrinkle here, we've mentioned a couple times, is that you play everybody twice. So for every team, the 2 games against the Rough Diamonds have been wins, and normally that's not the way it would go. There would be some differential results that fall in there. So
at least a draw or something in
there.
Yep. To the opposite corner it goes. Yet another corner kick for Frederick tonight. Brennan Gack, senior from Bucknell, once again takes it real quickly. Left-footed in, pops up into the night sky. Yowell backs it in. Drop down here, a quick chance, and last-second kick away by McGuire Alden.
And again, another corner kick that wasn't just driven into the center box. I'm not even sure if I remember maybe 1 or 2 that were that way. Maybe they'll mix it up this time. There's one.
Here comes the cross, and Villatoro heads it down.
Eric did a good job with that. He got it low. Keeper had to make a save.
Well, a quick substitution as Kofi Amoa has come in for John Eske. So the goal scorer tonight, his night has concluded. Kofi Amoa, who has some pace, will have a chance to work his ground tonight.
That's, I think, a smart substitution from Coach Ryerson. Kofi will bring lots of energy and pace, and he's shifty too in those attributes. So the other thing that, again, we talked about it earlier, the number of subs, and in fact the early subs that the Rough Diamonds did, they are going to be on legs that are tired. So you bring a guy like Kofi in, completely his tank is filled, but he's quick, he's shifty, he's fast. I would expect to see some interesting things from his side of the field.
Offsides against Frederick. Yeah, Kofi Amoa started his career over at Mount St. Mary's Had a couple of goals in his sophomore year and then transferred to UMBC. For this season, he had 5 appearances. He had some pretty consistent action until about midway through September, then didn't see too much as the rest of the year went along. This is Ankra, who's picked up a good spot, looking for Amoa, who's just come in.
Good try.
And curls away. Stays at 1-0, 75th minute. It's his second year with Frederick. Kofi Amoa scored his first Frederick goal against DMV Elite this season. Second fastest goal in FC Frederick history, that. And looks like an injury up top. It's Mohamed Elarag who started the game. You see the height he has, 6'5". And Coach Anderson looking to make this change, needing to. So now that takes away, if there's any free kick coming up late, you have that extra height gone.
Yeah, he hasn't been super dangerous, but that height in a 1-0 game could have been the difference because a service in, a little flick. So that's probably a helpful thing for Frederick.
Jonathan Yowell steps off. Brian Barrientos is on. Will be attending Howard Community College. Will be playing under head coach Rob Ryerson there this season. And for Alexandria, it's Ernesto Moya who has stepped on. We mentioned Elarag is off. Ernesto Moya played with semi-pro team in Maryland, Street Footy FC. Booted deep by James Anderson. A touch by Bradley over here. Now, Ankara stayed out there. Has seen some extended minutes here tonight. Just feeling like they need a bit of him out there. Amoa found it after hitting off of Tamini. Now it's the new substitute in Moya. Passes his first test. Sent deep. Shouldering down was Mbakub. And Hosseinian back to his feet. Still maybe feeling the after effects, but now Ankara staying on his feet, staying with the ball. He's been targeting Omoa ever since he's come on. And he's tripped up. The official says it's clean.
Ankara had a nice piece of work there, getting the ball out of traffic and then advancing it forward with the dribble, and then a nice layoff to Kofi.
It's out of bounds. Just missing the pass. Zimbakub to Alden. Frederick to make another change. Leaving the match is Brennan Gack. Saw him on corner kicks tonight. By the way, that was crowd mic being knocked down. And very nicely, Sean Weiland puts it back up for us.
Glad you said that. I had no idea what that sound was. I didn't see him knock it over.
Sanochi out left to Amoa. Here he goes. Tries another and drags it.
I think Rob probably would have preferred Kofi to run at that guy. Just even though he's about the 18, to take a run at him, see if he could off-foot him and get by him so that the little bit higher percentage shot would have happened.
Well, you see the graphic there. Tyler Harry now in. He's finished his senior year over at UMBC. His third year with Frederick. Had a goal against Virginia Beach in the 3-0 win. His first goal since 2022 against First State FC when they were in this conference.
So, we highlight the UMBC connection. So one of the interesting aspects of building NPSL rosters is you might have a guy that's been with you or wants to join you from a certain school, and then players from those schools like to play together over summer. And one of the rules is you can have up to 5 players from any one college on a team. You can't have more than that. So, right now we had 3 William & Mary guys, and I think we've had, maybe three UMBC guys, two or three Mount St. Mary's guys, and it sort of works that way. There's a cluster that can come over. We're in a period in our organization where I think will continue to get a group of 3, 4, 5 guys from UMBC each year because of guys like Robbie Ryerson being a part of the UMBC squad, or Kofi, or some of the other guys.
Well, good to see Anochi is okay. After being hit in the chest there. Well, the shots in this game are 20-1 for Frederick. Frederick with just 6 only on target. Keon DeCuba on top of this one. Well, guess this is somewhat of a free kick for Alexandria, but wasted. At least maybe.
A heavy touch from James, uncharacteristic, but
well, now they're trying to make something out of this. That was Milkovic. To Kuba, up the center to Alden. Now on the right side, now across coming in. Headed up by Hosseinian. Drops in. Edge of the penalty area here for Alexandria. Nearly about as close as it's gotten. They get the throw. This might be their moment to try and find something. Don't try the deep throw there. To Kuba, the curler. And kicked out again. Take it safely to his keeper, Tamini. About 10 minutes to go before the added minutes. Still just 1-0 for Frederick. John A. Eske in the 37th minute. Ryerson, not quite as quick as earlier tonight, but he's still going to work really hard, and his pressure gives it back to Frederick and quickly tossed in, and now Ryerson can try something. Almost forced the corner, but now does. Just fascinating here. Alexandria have held it as this night has continued. We mentioned the 20 shots for Frederick. Just 1 has gone in. Ryerson's going to take it himself over here. Line drive, 1 touch, off the post. Gonna try again here, another sliding kick. Nothing doing, trying again, Anochi, nothing again.
Wow.
Anderson staying strong. So too that defense, the players down in the box for the Rough Diamonds. And just about as close as Frederick have been really in this second half. Anderson diving all over the place. The defenders sliding out desperately too. Wow. About 2 or 3 different chances there for the home side. Good to see that he's okay and gets back to his feet here. Frederick on the substitution chance. Used almost everybody. And the evening has concluded for Sean Weiland. Did some good things over on that right side. And it's that change that will patiently set up Alexandria, at least to start it. It's given to them. Jack Heinz is the substitute, freshman from Bucknell. He played in 3 games this season for the Bison. Limited action, but another chance here this summer. Played with the DC United Academy as well. Did that for 5 years. Played for Baltimore Armor under head coach Mike Lookingland, who is in the Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame, by the way.
Bucknell's another school. It's interesting that we've had some success over the years in bringing players into the program. My guess would be 4 or 5 total over the years.
Marinochi is holding that left leg after sliding in there. Looks to be in a good bit of pain. Does get back to his feet. Meanwhile, Frederick on the attacking end. Tell you what, that height from Tamini and his elevation has helped out the defense tremendously tonight.
It's a good run by James. Whenever you can get an outside back forward, it's just very, very dangerous because a defense isn't quite sure who's responsible for dealing with that run, and there's shifting then it has to happen. Really good opportunities when the outside backs can get forward.
Nothing doing on that header from Tyler Harry. By the way, that was the 11th corner kick taken by Frederick tonight.
You know, I would probably need to turn to our stats guys, but that may be a record for us. I'm not sure if we can go back and look at something like that, but that's a lot of corner kicks.
Indeed it is. And have not been able to score off of any so far. Asking for a change is Cesar Rodriguez for Alexandria. Feeling something in his left leg, or at least looking for the trainer to come out. I don't think they have any subs left. If any, they have one. And now it's Coach Anderson who trying to figure out something over there on that sideline. It almost just seems as simple as a Charlie horse.
Could be that. The other thing you see this stage of the game and on hot days is cramps. You know, I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen more guys on their back with someone pushing their leg, up to try and alleviate a muscle cramp.
It looks like Brandon Nicholas could be the guy. And the change is granted as Cesar Rodriguez will make a really long walk now all the way around to get back to his bench. It's going to be a painful one too. So Nicholas looks to set himself up as maybe the number 9, at least for right now. It doesn't even look like he's very sure where to go here. All he knows is he needs to replace Cesar Rodriguez. In the meantime, Frederick making a change. Eric Villatoro steps off. Jackson Quenzer, that one final change besides the goaltender, Jacob McDonald, is on.
It's funny, your observation. It's sometimes a cameraman will have his camera right in a spot where you can, I agree with you, he did look a little unsure what his role was supposed to be.
I don't know if he was really even expecting to come on tonight.
Yeah.
No, Quenzer, sophomore out of Hood. No, yeah, just very nearby here. Breakout year this year, had 5 goals after no goals a season ago.
So he had his first start last week against the Alexandria Reds, and
miss hit there on the backside and another corner kick.
Did a nice job. We have we have our NPSL team, and then we have another team of college players that's underneath that team, and the nice thing is when guys are doing well there, they can, again, depending on the needs of this roster, get opportunities. And we needed a center back last against the Reds, and he came in and did a solid job.
There is Quenzer making his way in.
Now he could probably, this could change how our service. Didn't find him, but
Anderson with a punch. Ryerson shooting. And kicking it away, Aristenes, another player down in the box for Alexandria. I think it is Tamini again. Yeah, but you're certainly right. Quenzer can get up there. Trying to target that head, number 14. Oh, this game about 90 seconds away from reaching the full 90. Again, a result would be a result for Frederick. You know, they would have wanted more tonight. Again, barring anything crazy happening here, but A win would be a win for Frederick. It all counts the same points-wise, but for Alexandria, again, if it ends like this, if they don't allow any more here tonight, could almost feel like a win for them, certainly with how some of the games have gone this season. Oh, Anderson going to try and reach out for this, and he does exactly that.
Did a good job covering that. He had to come way out of his box.
He's been a big reason why this is only 1-0.
Yes. I mean, it is one of those things. It's kind of a weird emotion to have. On the one hand, you're a little disappointed that it was only 1-0. On the other hand, a win in this league it's an important win, one of the more important ones of the season. And credit to the back line. Not that the goalkeeper had a lot of work, but the back line has been very solid, winning balls and dealing with them appropriately before they even got near the goal. And with two guys that have had their first starts, actually first role on our NPSL team in Bradley and Zach Hassanian. So from that aspect, that's a good thing. And I think having Zach and James for the rest of the journey, it could be an important piece of the success as well.
Throw in for Alexandria. And this is not done. They could still get one here. You sense that they have some urgency out there right now, pushing up maybe another player or two. But a lot of them have run quite a bit tonight in this deep heat. Almost shouldered forward there by Bradley. And here come Frederick. Robbie Ryerson adding into the mix here. And pushed away again by Tamini. He has been sensational this evening. He's been making all the right moves when they need him to. Just a simple freshman out of UDC. Bradley had an extra step on Milkovic. So we've reached just over 90. Just a matter of how much more to be added. There have been some subs, but no goals to really stop that clock.
It's a nice ball there.
Ryerson going with the back heel. And back up. Trying to stave off Ryerson. He keeps his run going. And slowed up, and they're in some safety now, Luke Ryerson and his defense. Well, Luke Ryerson, with his first full game here, chance for a clean sheet as well.
One of the guys we've been trying to get rostered most of the season, but just some injuries and then personal commitments. Local guy actually coaches with this guy named Joe Benton, and he's a midfielder, quick. As a player, his playing nickname was actually the accountant because he was so precise, like kind of by the numbers. So, but maybe we'll be able to get him rostered this season. I'm not sure, but it's interesting. You every year you kind of looking around to see if you might find a guy that you're not expecting that can come in and make a difference.
Playing with it here on the left side, Alexandria. 2 minutes of the added time has been played. Ankara, who's going to be playing all 90 tonight. I know Coach Ryerson mentioned how, they can get like a good 45 out of him, maybe just a little more, but going the full length of the evening here tonight.
Well, now, one other piece, I love the fact that Luke Ryerson's gotten a full game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to do when you've got a guy like Noah Kump that's handling everything that you need. But for a young player like Luke to get a full match at this level, it bodes really well for his development and growth as a player.
Well, Mo was looking to wrap it up, but took a heavy touch. And it's worked out again for a corner. You see just how exhausted he looks back there. He's been running so much tonight. Niaza Tamini wearing number 27 for Alexandria. Got to look at Kian Dekuba, who has done his thing too. Pushed away Anderson. Another chance. Almost. Anderson, brilliant again.
Almost.
And hang on, a counterattack chance for Alexandria. They can find something. Nicholas quickly tossing away, and it did not favor his teammate in Mbakub.
Too bad that that opportunity didn't drop. I think Frederick deserves to at least a 2-0 victory. We'll take whatever, but they've been pressing all game and created a lot of chances.
Just the lone goal, John Ask in the 37th minute. And just imagine if Anderson had handled it cleanly. Just what else this game could have been tonight. It's a weird one that spiraled off his hands, off the post and in. And that has been the lone difference maker tonight.
And, an absolute credit to the Rough Diamonds. I mean, the trajectory they're on suggests next year they will be better. And, when you continue to reduce the number of goals against, provides some confidence and belief in the program. And this is a good result for them.
Just looking for that final whistle. Offsides against Barrientos. Love that camera work right there. Look at that. But Anderson, wow.
that's basically, it's not quite a double save, but to get out and contest that ball, that service, and then to essentially be springy enough to hop back up and get the second block is a high-level play.
And that is the conclusion of this one tonight. Everybody absolutely exhausted. It is all 3 points for Frederick. They got the one goal from John Ask there in the 37th minute, and that was all that separated the two teams. That Alexandria defense worked so hard tonight. They're just lucky they can walk right now with how many chances Frederick were able to put together. And there's a look at the goal scorer. And scored his 15th career FC Frederick goal. And the final stats from this one is FC Frederick 26 shots, Alexandria 1 shot. Those 26 shots forced 7 saves for James Anderson, who was electric back there between the pipes. 6 fouls to 5 for Alexandria. Corner kicks were 13-0 for Frederick as well, with their 7 offsides, just 1 for Alexandria. Again, Frederick would have wanted more tonight, but it is a win. They get the 3 points with 1 game left. As it all stands, points-wise, they are in that postseason spot. Still, DMV Elite have a couple games in hand, but you'd rather be there than out here towards the end of the year.
And another big matchup against Virginia Dream this week.
Yes, on the 29th. Any final thoughts from this one tonight?
Again, Rob will be disappointed with the score line, but the takeaways, it's a win. It's not always easy to get them. The defense played well, snuffed out any situations. At a personal level, John A. has 4 siblings. We distribute love and affection in our family based on goal totals, so he's moving up.
I love it. I love it. Well, again, right before we sign off here, this was new this year, live streaming here at FC Frederick. Shout out to Paul Garza, who brought in all the equipment, brought in our awesome camera operators, who, as you saw tonight, folks, were absolutely brilliant. And for these 3 games that we've been here for, it's been fantastic.
It's I can't tell you how many, even as we're doing our commentary, I'm getting texts from people from all over the place that are watching this saying they can't believe the quality, and credit to Paul Garza and his crew. It's very high level. To the sponsors that supported us to help launch our first ever live streaming, thank you so much. And we are really looking forward to next year and doing the full 5 home games. This year we were able to do 3 because it's such a high level product.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you as well. For all of you watching at home, I'm Christian Taylor, joined by Bo Eske. Final score tonight, FC Frederick 1, Alexandria Rough Diamonds 0. We'll see you next time, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.